back to GAA Fan TV. This is the instant match reaction after Moycullen have beaten Westport in the opening round of the Connacht Club Senior Football Championship. They win out by a scoreline of 3-18 to 1-11. A statement win from Moycullen, an absolute demolition job if you've ever seen one from the Galway champions. The Mayo champions beaten out of the gate well and truly here. A resounding performance really from Moycullen. 3-18 in the club game is one hell of a tally to knock up when you consider that you only play 60 minutes as well as opposed to 70 minutes. So, I mean, that is quite the tally to rock up from Moycullen against Westport, who many people would have perceived as probably, this is in most people's eyes on paper anyways, probably the two best teams in the province, especially Galway, Mayo champions. Galway, Mayo, usually the two best counties in Connacht, and obviously the current champions of Roscommon, Strokestown. It's their first time in the Connacht Club Championship in 20 years as well. So, what a resounding win really for Moycullen. What a statement win. What a performance to put out. 3-18, one hell of a scoreline. And, I think they were just far quicker on the ball. They were sharper. Desi Keneally, what a performance. 10 points in total. The first half, he was absolutely shooting the lights out. Some really, really good scores early on. And it was tough for Westport really to get into the game. I thought they were struggling with their own kickouts. When they did win possession with their kickouts, they were trying to move the ball really quickly into the half-forward line and into the full-forward line. And it worked at times. That's obviously where they get the goal from. It's a brilliant catch from Lee Keegan, actually, originally, who I think plays it on to Mark Moore, and then the ball is worked on to Owen McDermott. And that's a wonderful finish then from him into the back of the net. And that was probably one of Westport's best moves in the game. But apart from that, I just thought they were rushing their chances a little bit. Decision-making wasn't quite there. Whereas Moycullen were a little bit more calmer in possession. They were waiting for the right opportunities, waiting for the right chances. And they certainly weren't rushing things as opposed to Westport, where possession was just breaking down at times. And Moycullen seemed a lot more in sync, I felt, even with Donald Mack, Peter Kelly in there as well, Sean Kelly. They were just able to move the ball really, really well and, causing far too many problems for Westport's defence. Westport and Mayo as well, let's not forget, have finished a lot of their games in the championship with about the scoreline they finished with today of 1-11. They've been fairly low scoring throughout the entirety of the Mayo Club Championship. So it can't be too much of a surprise that they finished with 1-11 here against the Galway champions. Defensively, though, Westport have been pretty good, defensively in the Mayo Club Championship. So for them to finish, can concede a tally of 3-18, I think they'll be pretty disappointed with that, to be perfectly honest. Obviously Neil Bretnick gets himself a goal as well. Donald Mack with the other finish. Those two goals coming in the second half really just sort of putting the dagger blow to Westport. When there was a stage at the start of the second half when Westport looked like they were maybe going to come on top, they started winning more kickouts at the start of the second half, started creating goal chances. Killian Kilkelly, I should say, probably one of the more standout players from Westport. 6 points on the day. 5 points on the day, actually, as a matter of fact, the majority of which from frees. I thought he was pretty good from a Westport point of view. Had a big goal chance, actually, in the second half at one stage at the start of the second half, which he put wide. If that goes in, I think it would have been brought down to a 4-point game. You just never know after that, but that obviously goes wide. And yeah, the luck just probably wasn't there for Westport. A couple of times hitting the post from frees, and accuracy just wasn't there in front of goal. Moycullen, I'd love to see the statistics on it. Probably only 1 or 2 wides in this game. They were very, very efficient with their chances. Desi Keneally on the ball, such a quick, sharp footballer, very pacey, running into the open space, creating chances for himself. He was very, very impressive. Donald Mack, very good as well. Neil Bretnock, very good with 4 points. Peter Kelly, outstanding as well. And even the substitute coming off the bench, getting himself a goal, the wing back. So it wasn't actually Neil Bretnock who got the goal there. Apologies. Or was it Neil Bretnock? I'm not too sure. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at that. Sometimes these things happen so quickly, you can miss things. And you're obviously trying to keep up with scores from up and across the country. I was trying to watch a bit of Ballybay Kilcoo as well. But yeah, it was very, very comfortable in the end. 13 points, victory. It sounds a lot more comfortable than it probably was. Westport did cause a couple of problems, and in the second half they got got a couple of chances, but I don't think Mark Moran's seen enough of the ball. He scored a great point at the start of the second half. Phil McDonough was fairly quiet. Lee Keegan wasn't really in the game too much either. He got sent off, actually, right at the death as well. So he probably didn't have as big an impact in the game as you would have wanted to see. But you have to credit Moycullen, who, again, were really, really good. Another brilliant performance from Peter Cook in midfield. 2 points from him. He was as impressive as always from a Moycullen point of view, who deliver a statement win. Look, a 13-point win versus the Mayo champions. I know Mayo clubs down the years haven't done too well in the Connacht Club Championship, really going as far back as maybe Ballina Stephenites. But for Moycullen, to deliver this 13-point victory, a statement win, and unquestionably the favourites for the Connacht Championship. Gavin says Strokestown were good to win county final, but they weren't great in the first half of that game, so they'll need to bring their A game to Moycullen in Tuam. They were great today. Yeah, and I think this result as well will stand to Moycullen. Maybe for Strokestown, they could do what maybe, being on the other side of the draw, playing the Sligo champions will be real banana skins for whoever, whether it is Moycullen or Strokestown, because I would expect Hurlestrand to beat St. Mary's, but maybe for a team like Strokestown, they could have done with playing St. Mary's in the semi-finals or even have a preliminary round game themselves, a quarter-final game themselves, just to build up a bit more confidence, get sort of a win under your belt in Connacht. Whereas Moycullen now are going to be going in with so much confidence going into that game. They really, really are. Like when you've got players like Desi Keneally in the form that he's in, Peter Cook as well, outstanding, really, really won that midfield battle, in my opinion. Like Lee Keegan, he just didn't have too much of an impact at times. He was catching a couple of balls and a couple of good passes here and there, but probably not enough of an impact. I think the way the game was played, like Westport, when they'd win the ball, they wouldn't really keep it. They wouldn't slow possession down. They were rushing chances, and in the process, giving possession back to Moycullen, which I think was key really for Moycullen in sort of winning possession back, going down the other end, and kicking brilliant scores as well. So yeah, be curious to know people's opinions in the comments down below. Big result for Moycullen. Desi Keneally, man of the match, no shadow of a doubt about that one. As I said, Killian Kilkelly looked fairly decent for Westport. Majority from frees, but some really, really well taken frees in fairness, and definitely looks a fairly good player. 1 or 2 good points from play. Mark Moran, you could see some of his, he's a tricky footballer. He's good on the eye, definitely passes the eye test, but probably didn't get enough ball, to be honest, to really do enough, I felt. But yeah, Moycullen, and you have to give credit to Moycullen's defence as well, who are very, very good in fairness. Westport really with just, I think, obviously they get themselves the goal, as I mentioned previously, from Owen McDermott. But apart from that, the one chance from Killian Kilkelly, don't remember any other goal chances really. Couple of half goal chances for Westport, but Moycullen were very, very well set up defensively. And let's not forget, they've done a great job beating Mountbelly and Moyloch earlier in the year as well, in the semi-finals. So yeah, look, Moycullen are a serious force. I would expect them to come through Connacht. They're certainly my pick for the Connacht Club Championship. As we very well know with club championships up and down the country, there's never a sure thing. And I wouldn't go and rule out Strokestown just yet. A side I don't know too much about, but if club championships, you just never can rule sides out, because you just see surprises, shocks up and down the country, left, right, and centre. But yeah, big result for Moycullen. Congratulations to them. Subscribe and like if you want. Would be very much appreciated. We'll be doing a reaction for Errigal Kieran, Watty Graham's Glen, the second game on TG Cahir that's about to throw in about 10 minutes time. So very, very excited for that. Hopefully it's not as one-sided as today's game and yesterday's game on RTE, because you want a bit of drama. You want games going down the home stretch. I've seen Enniskillen and Gales and Gowna going to penalties. I want a bit of that for Watty Graham's Glen, Errigal Kieran. Let's get a bit of excitement, entertainment. But in fairness, today's game, yesterday's game, very, very good games. Nothing defensive about it. And yeah, brilliant stuff. So yeah, cheers anyone who tuned in. Like, subscribe. I'll see you later.